Two. Are you going to do your expectation? Oh, I forgot about that. We'll come back at the end if we have time. Okay, I'm going to do this section right here, the competitor brands, price, value, and then we'll come back at the very end and do expectations if we have time. This is after I did the welcome talk, and then we go through the manual. We read the script out loud with each other through slides 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think this is slide 13 in the manual, the competitive cutlery. And I say, hey guys, go ahead and pause. I'll just act like I'm drink. Hey guys, go ahead and pause in the manual for a sec. Keep your manual open where you see where it says competitive cutlery. Put your manual off to the side. Get out your notes again. I'm going to teach you a few things. Yep. Okay. And then we're going to get back into the manual. We're going to finish the last few slides here. I want to talk about the competition brands before we go over this page in the manual. Why do you think we talk about the competition brands even in the presentation? Why we're better? Yep. In my opinion, it's to create one thing. There's one main reason, a lot of side reasons. One main reason we talk about competitor brands.
Price.
Talk about other expensive knives.
If you actually know, you can say it. It's to create what's called a reference point. I'll write that down, you guys. Out of role playing. Oh, okay, back in role play. It's to create what's called a reference point. I went over to my boss's house about a year ago. He was cooking pizzas for us. I tell this in training, this is good. He was cooking pizzas for us. He has this big pizza oven. And I was like, that's sweet. So I asked his daughter, we were in the kitchen, I asked his daughter, I was like, hey Delaney, how much did your dad pay for that pizza? I have zero reference point for what a pizza oven costs. If you tell me $2,000, I would believe you. If you told me $20,000, I would believe you. She's like, I don't know. I was like, this is not helpful. Like, so I didn't find out what the price of the pizza oven was, and I still don't know to this day. We can talk about it. But because I have no reference point for what a pizza oven costs. My mom doesn't have one. My grandpa doesn't have one. I've never bought one. I've never seen one online. Like, I have zero clue. You could tell me $2,000 or you could tell me $20,000, and I believe you. And so similar with Cutco, if somebody's never bought a high quality set of knives, the last set of knives they got was for their wedding, guess what they have zero reference for? What a good set of knives cost. So you say this random arbitrary number, and they're like, oh my gosh, that's so much. When really it's probably like a sick deal. And so that's how we go through this. And when people buy knives in a store, it's hard. They're not, the person selling it is not educated. Who's ever been to Bed Bath & Beyond? You walk in, you're like, hey, can you tell me about these knives? He's like, dude, I'm 19, I just got hired yesterday. Like, he doesn't know anything about the knives. You can't try them out first. You can't like pull them off the shelf, start chopping stuff. There's no 15-day guarantee. You can't return them if you cooked a Thanksgiving meal and you hate them now. Like, and there's no payment plans. In Cutco, we have 2, 3, and 5-month payment plans. And so this is why people in stores buy knives solely based on price. People don't, you go in, you're like, I'm gonna spend $300, which one? That one, okay, cool. It looks cool. People don't buy Cutco based on price. Remember from earlier, #1 rated, save money at home, cook it with family more often. What is that all called? That's called value. People don't buy Cutco based on price. They buy Cutco based on what you get for what you pay. So let's go through the brands. This is Chicago Cutlery. Does anybody have Chicago Cutlery at home? Yeah? Yeah. Did you know that it's not made in Chicago? It's so sad. It's made in China. And stainless steel guarantee, no guarantee. Stainless steel knives, and then no guarantee. This is like your Walmart brand. You got some people get Walmart brand. That's cool. We got Wusthof. Wustof's really good. It's really good stuff. These are made in Germany. 420A steel, guaranteed against defects. Schön. These are also really good. If Cutco didn't exist, I would own a set of Wusthof or a set of Schön. Made in Japan, 420A steel, lifetime guarantee, which means limited lifetime warranty. Not actually your lifetime. They can't put a contractual binding guarantee on your lifetime. They don't know how long you're going to live. But with Cutco, it's legitimately forever. You don't have to keep a receipt. The product is the proof of purchase. Made in America and 440A steel. So can you see how Cutco's like, these are good, but Cutco's like that much better? Can you see that? So I've got 3 questions, then we're going to get back into the manual. Question number 1. Which of these four is the most expensive to manufacture for the company? Who said that? Yeah, you guys are good. Cutco, by far and away. Have you guys ever heard like your parents or people making a big deal about things being made in America? Oh, it's made in America. Like, it costs more money to make stuff in America. We actually have labor laws. Like, we pay our people what they should be paid, and then they strike and sue us for not paying. Like, like we pay people a good. It costs money to make stuff here in America. So that's the first question. By far and away, the most expensive to make. Second question, which is the most expensive for the customer to purchase over the course of their lifetime?
Chicago.
You guys are good. But why is that, Scotty? You have to replace it. You guys get it. $170 for a set. You know, $170, not a big deal. I'm going to buy that. I'll just buy one every year if I have to. No. You replace it every 2 to 3 years over the next 60 years, over the next 70 years. You replace it 20 to 25 times. You're spending $4,000 on a low quality set of knives. More money for low quality. You guys get this concept? Like, you get what you pay for? My wife wanted those, what are those girl shoes that are all white? Like the Air Force Ones that all the girls used to wear? My wife wanted a pair. I'm like, I'm not buying you a pair. We're going to get it at Target. We bought her a pair of Air Force Ones, Target brand. And they got like a hole in the sole in like the first month. I was like, this is stupid. And then we bought an actual pair of the Nikes. And now she still has them like 7 years later. Like, you guys get that concept? Like, you get what you pay for. Like, it's good to buy the nicer version. So let's answer the third question here with a video. The third question is, why is Cutco then so much better than these other knives? You guys seen this video? When this video gets done, we're just like, yeah! Alright. So that's why Cutco's better. You guys get it. So let's talk about price. Set of Chicago color is $170. Set of Wusthof is $1,999. Set of shoes, $1,999. I get it. Jake, I see the eyes you just gave me. That's a lot of money. Like, you get what you pay for. Like, you're not in the target market either, I get it. And so, like, view this more as like a laptop. View this more as like 2 iPhones. Like, how many iPhones are you going to buy the next 10, 15 years? And then Cutco, obviously, you could make an educated guess. You're talking, it's probably 10 times better. You're talking like, this should be like $20,000. This should be like $10,000. It's not, it's only $4,000. Oh, actually, I don't say that there. Oh, I say here. So we go through, and I'm like, guys, $1,999 for the set of Wusthof. I don't say that. For the set of Wusthof, made in Germany. So I'm going to tell you what price of Cutco is. My next slide click is the price of Cutco. Made in Germany, made in USA. Which one's better? 420A steel, 440A. Which one's better?
440.
3 to 5 year sharpness, 7 to 10 year sharpness. Which one's better? Wood handles, thermal resin handles. Which one's better? Thermal resin, same stuff as bowling balls, same stuff as the inside lining of your dishwasher, football helmets. Ergonomic handle endorsed by the Arthritis Association of America. Our handle's in the Museum of Modern Art for its ergonomic excellence. Like, which one's better, our handle or their handle? Forever guarantee, literally forever. The product is the proof of purchase or guaranteed against defects. So you'd expect it to be like 10 times, probably like 10, 20 grand. It's not, it's only 4 grand. Caleb just about fell out of his seat. I get it, dude. $4,000. Now, before we get back into the manual, I have to do this, and I have to show you this. Because when we're talking, even when we're talking $4,000, is a $4,000 for a set of Cutco worth it? Yes, it's so worth it. We sell it all the time. Like, we're going to sell $300 million worth of it this year. But you're not going to sell any. We're going to sell a lot, but you're not going to sell any if you don't talk about it with the price with a lot of confidence. Who's ever spent $4,000 on one thing, like one purchase with money you made working over your summer breaks? None of you. So none of you even know what it's like to spend $4,000, and if there's one, I'm like one of you. None of you even know what it's like to spend $4,000 of your own money that you made working a summer job on one thing. But you got to realize your 57-year-old aunt and uncle do it all the time. Me and my wife, we paid for a lawn mowing service this summer. We're looking to buy a lawnmower. The one we want's like $4,200. I didn't call my dad and go, Dad, we're buying a lawnmower. Tell the whole family we're going to throw a party for the, like, it's going to be a Tuesday. Like, you guys got to realize that $4,000 is so much more to you than it is to our target customer. Let me show you. I Googled the 4 household incomes of the 4 counties here in our area. Who lives in Wayne County? Yep, cool. 57,000. Now that's pulled down a little bit by downtown Detroit, so that's kind of a skewed number, but nevertheless. Macomb County, 73. Who lives in Livingston? Yep, 102. Saw a lot in your fast start. Oakland County, 92. What's the average of these here? Average is 81,000, so let's use 80,000 as the average. Household income. Because Cam, I don't want you to think about $4,000 with how you personally feel about it. I want you to think about $4,000 with how your customers feel about it, because they're the ones writing the check. They're the ones swiping the card. How much does the average college student make? Now, I know most college students make nothing because they don't work, so let's use that as a part of the equation. If you include all those people that don't work, how much does the average college student make over a summer?
$2 grand. $3 grand. $4 grand.
Some kid usually says 10. I'm like, how many of you made 10 grand last summer? That one kid raises his hand. I'm like, all right, let's not use that. 5? So let's write the homemaker up here. Cam, the reason you almost fell out of your seat earlier is because what is that? That's 80% of your income you made this year. You're like, I spent the other grand at Chipotle. That's my whole checking account. That's every dollar I have left in my checking account. You're like, I can't do it for knives? Like, I get it. You're not the target market. The target market, what is that? What's the math? They never get it. I'm like, what's 10% of 80,000? What's half of that? Okay, it's 5%. So what's 5% of your annual income? Mic drop. How much do you feel, or how do you feel about $250? How do you feel about $250? Genuinely. Like if you had to go buy something, if you had to buy a pair of shoes, buy an Xbox, whatever.
It's not a lot. Like I could do it if I had to.
Yeah. Who spent $250 on something before? Y'all have.
What's the board?
Y'all have. So guys, here's my point. How you at 19 feel about 250 is how your target market customers feel about 4,000. So can I ask you a favor? Can I ask you a favor, really?
Yeah.
Yes or yes?
Yes.
When you're talking about price on your appointments, you have to talk with a lot of confidence. If this is how you're like, hey, Miss Jones, this is the homemaker, it's $4,000. You want it? Like, what are they gonna, like, they're gonna be like, it's funny because they're gonna be like, yeah, we want this the whole time. They're gonna be wanting it, and then they're gonna be like, whoa, like, why are you being weird? What do you know that I don't know? And it's like nothing. I don't know anything that you don't know. I'm just being weird about it. Hey, Miss Jones, it's only $4,000. A 5-month payment, you can do it for only $800 a month. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you, would you like to try out the homemaker set today with your free gifts? Guys, write this down in your notes. Confidence sells. You're not going to sell anything to your customer that you're not confident talking about. They're not going to buy anything from you that you're unconfident talking about. And so when you talk about the price of Cutco, the homemaker plus 8 set right here, for $4,000, you've got to talk with a lot of confidence, even though I know you don't know what that feels like because you've never done it. Neither have I. But here's the good news. Logan, people who've never spent $4,000, can they sell it? Yep, you see this board? These are all college students. It works if you're confident when you're talking about the price. Guys, things for the home don't cost hundreds of dollars. This flat screen TV right here, how many of these do you have in your home, Doherty? 5? Two grand a piece. That's 10 grand in TVs. Sheila, how many couches do you guys have in your home, your parents' house? 4? That's like 2 grand a piece. Who has an L-shaped couch with the circle cup holders and it's like the recliner? It's like a $5,000 couch. Who sleeps in a nice bed that you like? Nice bed, yeah, you all do? That's like probably 2 or 3 grand. Me and my wife were shopping for beds a week ago. There's this bed at Gardner White that's $40,000. People buy it or else they wouldn't sell it. Like, you gotta realize, like, when you're talking about price, you've gotta talk with a lot of confidence. Who's ever gone shopping with your parents for a new car? Yeah? What are the guys at the BMW and the Tesla, the Mercedes, the nice car, those dealerships, what are they wearing? Suits. They're exuding confidence with suits. Like, yeah, this X3, this is $53,000. That's too much for you? Okay. Yeah, have a good day, sir. Like, they're not like, this X3? they're like, yeah, it's, because it's worth it. Cutco is worth it. They get what they pay for. You guys get that? You get what you pay for? Check this out. A new refrigerator is $3 or $4 grand. Whose parents have bought a new refrigerator recently? Yeah? Like, you probably, oh, mom and dad get a new refrigerator, let's go, yeah. You didn't realize they just dropped $4 grand. You don't go to your friend's house, you're like, your parents have a refrigerator? Mom, Kim's mom has a fridge, they're rich. You gotta do what she does. They've all spent $3 or $4 grand on a refrigerator at one point. If it came with the house, it was baked into the price of the cost of the price of the house. New oven, $2, $3, $4 grand. Like a minute ago, Cam was just said, I don't know anybody that would spend $4 grand on anything. Like he almost stood up and walked out of training, didn't you? Mm-hmm. I actually said that. And I'm just joking with you. But like you're like, I don't know anybody who'd spend $4 grand. You don't know anybody who hasn't spent $4 grand on like 20 different things. You just didn't have this awareness. It's my job to bring this awareness to you so you can be successful talking about the price. Thanks for the kitchen, new fridge, $2 to $7 grand, new oven, $2 to $4 grand, new dishwasher, $1,500, new granite. Who has granite at home? With your parents? Yeah, Shayla, show your parents first. New cabinets, 10 grand, new flooring, 10 grand. Like things for the home don't cost hundreds of dollars. Things for the home cost thousands of dollars. Me and my wife just bought a house in March. We made a list of 42 things, aggressive, I know. We made a list of 42 things we want to do. Some small, some big. The smallest thing is like $1,800. So I've been working so hard this year. The smallest thing is like $1,800. I'm like, I want to throw up. My first house I bought at 23. This was like 7 or 8 years ago. We walked in, we had the U-Haul, we drove it in the driveway, we're there, we're going to unpack, move in the house. Weather's so important. We walked in, we're like, and it smelled like urine everywhere. We're like, my dad's like, it's got to be the carpet. We ripped up the carpets, piece spot. They must have did a good job when we walked through. Everywhere. I was like, we can't move our furniture in. He's like, let's go to Menards. We went to Menards. We got a quote for all the carpets here. I was 23 at the time, just graduated college. All the carpets to be replaced. It was $8,000 for the carpet plus the installation because I don't know how to install carpet. And I'm like, Dad, I have $8 grand, but I have $8 grand. He's like, you're not putting all this furniture in the, and I'm like, I swiped my car, is what happened. That's what happens when you grow up and you get a house. You have responsibilities. And so you gotta realize, things for the home don't cost hundreds, they cost thousands, and you're not in our target market. So let's get back to the manual. We've got 3 slides left in the manual, and then we'll take our next break. That's that part. Brett, do we have time for
yeah, man. You got 10 more minutes.
The only section Doherty came for.
I've got $8 grand.
It's the best when you can use legit stories. Like I remember that. I was like, here, okay, so I do the welcome talk, and then we go over the tips for the demo. On the back of our manual, it says 4 or 5 general demo tips, and then it says in-person specific tips and virtual specific tips. We go over that, and then we flip, they put their name on the front, their cutcovirtual.com is our PowerPoint we use, they write that. They write all of our managers' phone numbers. And then we flip open to the page 1, the inside cover of the manual. And so, all right, everybody, go ahead and flip over. That's where we're going to start. Flip open to page 1. Imagine we just got done with the break. How's break, Cam? How's vending machines? I saw you got some.
It was good. I got some hot Cheetos.
Yup. Carpet in the bathroom. Isn't that sweet?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. All right, so we're going to get started here. Open up to page 1 in the manual. Got it? Now, do you see, what does it say at the top of page 1 in the manual? Expectations. So we're going to go over what I expect out of you here in the job. So grab your pens. Actually, but before you start writing in here, we're going to fill this out in a sec. Hold up. Pause 1 sec. I've got to kind of lay the foundation here. Before we go over the because it's going to talk about a meeting we have a team meeting every week. This is going to talk about like coaching. We're going to coach you, how you get paid. We're about to go over all that right now, like the admin expectations. But before we do that, you've got to change your mindset. Who's had a different job before you got paid hourly? Yeah? What'd you do, Cam?
I worked at a hardware store.
Hardware. Hey, Ace Hardware. So
Do best.
do best. Yes, I remember. Would you get paid?
$8 an hour.
So Cam and the rest of you, you're gonna have to view this job differently than your last job, $8 an hour at the hardware, $15 an hour at Dairy Queen. And here's why. This job is not hourly. You're not getting paid to be here and training. I'm not getting paid to run this training. I'm excited though. I'm excited to be here. I don't get paid anytime I come to the office. You don't get paid anytime you come to the office. Jake, if you make phone calls at home for 2 hours this Saturday, and you're like, I booked up 20 demos, you didn't get paid to make those 2 hours of phone calls. And so that being said, you've got to view this job so much differently that it's not even funny than you viewed the jobs you've had in the past. It takes a mindset shift. So we're going to do it right now, and we're going to shift your mindset into what it takes to succeed at this job. Who has a family member, mom, dad, grandma in sales, or owns their own business, or somebody you know? You ever seen them just like randomly working in the middle of the evening? Or like golfing in the middle of the day? Like they make their own schedule. And so in sales, you don't get paid based on your hour, you get paid based on your value. Who's ever worked in a job where the harder you work, the more you, nope, not the harder you work, the more you make. That's what I preach to our reps. But the harder you work, you make the same. Who's ever worked a job, you worked harder than everyone else, but you got paid the same. Isn't that frustrating? I used to work at Arby's with Jordan Temple, and Jordan Temple would always go in the freezer and sit on the freezer fries and just sit there and be on his phone and see how long before Diane would notice. And then he would come out and he would see how many chicken tenders he could eat out of the fryer without her noticing. And it was so funny for like the first few months until I realized we were getting paid the same. And I cleaned the bathrooms. Like I sweat a lot as it is, but I was like sweating at the end of every shift. Like they definitely shouldn't have put me on fries, but no, I'm serious. With Cutco, all right, calm down. With Cutco, the cool thing is the harder you work, the more you make. The more you learn, the more you earn. And so we're going to talk about you come to a team meeting. We have a team meeting every Wednesday at 3:30 to 6. I never want you to call me like, Logan, do I have to come to this team meeting? Because the answer is no. You don't have to be sitting here in training doing the job. You don't have to do anything. You get to. You don't have to. So view it as, do I have to come to the team meeting? No, you don't have to. You get to come to the team meeting, meet the rest of the team. You think you're going to learn anything if you meet Susie, Jenna, Johnny, Brett, Joe? You think you're going to learn anything? So you come, you learn, you make more phone calls and book up more demos, and you get better at the job. That's better than doing one demo. So also don't book a demo over the team meeting. You don't have to come to the team meeting, you get to. And don't book a demo over the team meeting. I would rather you come learn, book up 4 demos than do 1 demo. Last time I checked, math is 4 is better than 1. But you gotta view this shop different, because it is different. Who'd be fired up if you made $500 this Friday? First check. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter how you made that. View it as like, I don't really care how I made that $500. Like legally, like this is like you know, you can make that elsewhere legally. But like, it doesn't matter how you, like, I made phone calls here, I did demos here, I did this here, I drove to this customer's house here, I made this phone call, I did this. It doesn't matter, but you're excited about your paycheck. I promise if you work hard and you follow the manual, show married people, you're gonna sell a lot of Cutco and love your paychecks. That's one thing I can promise you. I also can promise you that's not all going to be true if you don't do those 3 things. And so, does everybody get it by now? Like, you get my point here? All right, let's get into the expectations page here. First thing there talks about DCI daily check-in. Then we go through and do that. So that's everything.
We got a minute. Any questions for Logan? Any requests? Besides the fact that we all wanted slides and we know you're gonna ask that.
When do you cover pay?
I'll save my voice. When do I cover pay? End of day 1. So we get done teaching the demo. We teach up through the homemaker, tell them the price of the homemaker, and how to close on the homemaker. And then I say, hey, we'll teach you galley dropping down gifts and accessories tomorrow. And that's really important because I don't want them going home thinking the homemaker is the smallest and being like, crap, I don't know people who could get that. So I'm like, hey, tomorrow this is what we're going to show. And I show them all the smaller sets, like real briefly. Then we take a break. We take a lot of breaks. Then we take a break. Then we go over fast start, just short and sweet. Hey, get excited. Here are the dates. Get pumped. Go all out. Here's why you should go all out for your fast start. Here's my stump speech on why you should do that. And then we review pay. I tell them when their first paycheck's going to be, how they get it, the Kickoff sales week, how that works. I show them some examples of some paychecks people got their first paycheck. I'm very clear and I write on the whiteboard, this is how your first paycheck's calculated, what you do tonight, tomorrow, the next day, and the next day. That all equals what you're going to get. Whoop, draw an arrow to next Friday. And I show them, so you're going to hear me say by Monday, by Monday, by Monday, by Monday, by Monday. That's because that's what your first paycheck is. We go over these, and then I say, do you want your first paycheck to look like that? They're like, yeah, I'm like, do this. Minimum, worst case scenario, you got 4 weddings and 3 bar mitzvahs this weekend, do 8. Shoot for 10, the goal's 10. And physically possible, if you have nothing going on this weekend, you can physically do 23. Don't be like, Logan, I'm gonna do 50. There's not a time in a day to do 50, like you can do 23. But I don't expect you to do 23. Just do your first day at least. And then we build their customer list. Did that answer your question? Yes, sir?
Do you strictly use slides, or do you use like the Vector Connect, Kickoff demos,
The only 2 things I use are this PowerPoint slide and our demo PowerPoint, kickoffvirtual.com. And I toggle between those when we're like role playing the demo. But not role playing, but we're reviewing the demo and we're teaching. And they don't know the difference between the slides sometimes, so I'm very particular when we're done talking in the manual. I'm like, all right guys, set your manual aside, I'm gonna teach you a few things. And I make sure they see me go to the new PowerPoint. So, because sometimes I felt in the past I got confused with like, is this the demo? Like, am I showing customers that slide? Like, no, I just made it. It's pretty cool though.
So you're using Vector Impact 2, or like you don't use Vector?
No comment.
Okay.
Is this a press con? No, we don't use the Vector Impact.
I was gonna say, I kept a tally how many times you said, okay, write that down, just to like prove that you were like transitioning. Just from that little bit, you said 11 times.
I'm so OCD that when I'm in training, I'm like, yes, guys, write second page right there, write this. First 10 days, blah blah blah. Hey Matt, you're not right. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we write that. Like I'm watching people write. Once every 30 minutes, there's a new person that's spacing out, that's not writing, and I'm catching it. I'm real weird about that.
No, I like it. I'm saying it's
Yeah.
very clear you were transitioning between all of it.
Anybody else? Anybody else at all?
God bless.
Great job.